10,000 dirhams per square foot. That is how much a villa is trading at Palm Jumeirah, and even higher than that as well. Just outside the Palm Trunk, if you look at Internet City, Media City, or even Jumeirah Beach Residence (JBR), price per square foot would be trading at a maximum of 6,500 dirhams. However, it does not make sense to argue as to why buy in Palm Jumeirah paying 4,000 dirhams per square foot extra. That's not how we look at investments. It all boils down to the value that you get for what you pay. Palm Jumeirah is exclusive, so it's worth the buck, right? So this is driven by a concept called value for money, which is a common concept we use in business terminology. Unfortunately, in real estate, often investors are misled by the term price per square foot, right? Price per square foot does not always necessarily reflect the value for money that you get. The value for a property or for a location is dependent on the demand that it has. Palm Jumeirah has a significantly higher demand than JBR, and that is why people are willing to pay that amount, and even higher than that. And people will even still make money, that will keep appreciating, right? So I'm not talking about Palm Jumeirah today. Today's video is about Expo City, two significant projects that were launched recently in Expo. How we as investors should look at it in light of this concept of value for money, how much of value you are getting. Because see, the reason why I want to explain this value for money, price per square foot concept before going into the video is most agents out there, unfortunately, sometimes try to mislead investors by saying that, look, the price per square foot in Expo City, inside Expo City, is 2,000 dirhams, whereas 15-20 minutes away in Dubai South itself, you can find a property for like 1,500, 1,400 dirhams. Why do you pay extra? So on and so forth, right? So that is the whole reason why I wanted to come up. First of all, start the video with this Palm Jumeirah analogy. Now let's get into the video, and by the end of the video, you will understand how value for money and price per square foot would be applicable for Expo City. How is it really worth it investing at a higher price when there are properties lower than that in the surrounding vicinities? So let's dive into the video and understand. Before getting into the video, let me walk you through the overview what we are going to discuss today, so that you'll get an idea of what to expect. So we'll talk about the price evolution of Expo City, how it appreciated, and then we'll talk about how it's going to appreciate even further. It's just the beginning, and how so? What's happening? What's going on? Is it actually that potential as so many people talk about? And then we'll talk about the two main projects that we are discussing. One, Sidr Residence by Expo City developers itself. They are the ones who developed the Expo City site, and they are the ones who developed this project. And then Terra Heights by the only one and only MR properties, right? And then we'll talk about the pay. So about those two projects, we'll talk in detail about the payment plans, about the ROI potential, about whom each project is suitable for short term, long term, so on and so forth. And also along the way, we'll be covering about an exciting news about the DEC. I will explain it then. You'll understand when we get there what I'm talking about. What is DEC? What is the exciting news? How it will impact the investments, the government plans for Expo City, what the government is planning. The MRs and the Aldars want a slice of the pie, and why? What does that mean? So what does it mean for big developers to get in, to want to come into a community? MR does not generally go into any community and build constructions. Right now they have their own communities, and they only focus on their own community. So if they go out of their way and they want to be in a community, then it means something. What is that? Why is that? And so many other things will be covered in the video. So let's directly get into the video. So the price evolution, around the beginning of last year, the first apartments were launched by Expo City developers. The price per square foot was somewhere around 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 dirhams. And right now, the launch that we are looking at, Sidr and Expo by MR, it's trading in the range of like 1,000, between 1,800 and 2,200, right? So that is where we are looking at. And this is, as I told you, is just the beginning. It has potential to reach even up to 3,500, 4,000 and above as well, and we'll understand why. First of all, let's understand the connectivity part of it. If you look at This is E77 Expo Road. This is Mohammed bin Zayed Road. This is Sheikh Zayed Road. This is Emirates Road. So this E77 connects to all these three major roads in the UAE. And if you look at the surrounding, this is Al Maktoum International Airport, the world's largest airport, expected to be functional by 2030. So Dubai airport operations also will be basically moved into this airport only, and this is going to be the main airport of Dubai. Yet Expo City is not going to be affected by the flight noises that we can discuss in detail in a separate video or on a one-on-one call, but it's not going to affect basically, right? So it's very close proximity without any noise pollution. That's a very huge plus point. There's Jebel Ali Port here, which is one of the region's largest ports, and Jebel Ali Free Zone. And if you zoom in Expo City, I mean the plan is to transform Expo City into a mixed-use community and in as a central focal point in the entire Dubai South larger district, right? So a lot of companies have already moved their headquarters, including Siemens, Emirates Airlines, DP World, and so many other companies. So this is a very already offices are functional, right? So, and we need to understand one thing. Uh, Although offices are functional, there are top management people working there. There is absolutely zero residences still in this community. Absolutely no. So these three projects by Expo City, Sidr Mangrove Sky Residences by Expo City developers, and Terra Heights by MR. These are the first few projects that are going to come into this place. So there's going to be a lot of demand for that. Okay, and also we need to understand when we need to, as investors, we need to follow the government where the money is going. We need to follow that trend, right? When the government has already, as I said, invested 126 billion dirhams. They are investing into the world's largest airport. They are investing billions into this expo site itself, and entire Dubai South is going to be a main focal point. 1 million population is going to reside in Dubai South by 2040. That is one in every 5 or 6 people in the entire Dubai is going to live in Dubai South, right? 500,000 jobs are going to be generated in Dubai South, and most of the top positions, most of the important jobs would be within Expo City itself, because it is a central business hub. We'll understand the different districts in a moment, and you'll be able to understand that. If you look at this map, you'll be able to understand. Just giving an overview. So marked in yellow are all commercial. These all there's office spaces, mostly offices, mostly headquarters of many companies, including Siemens, DP World, Emirates, which has already moved in. So many other businesses, companies are going to move into this location. This is the uh, Dubai Exhibition Center. Basically, World Trade Center is going to move in here. We'll talk about it in detail towards the end. I'll explain you in detail when I talk about Terra Heights project specifically. So these are all entertainment areas. So this is basically how, and these are the residential, like, three projects by Expo City developers inside this location. And Terra Heights is going to be somewhere a little away, somewhere around this area. Also wanted to explain one more thing for us to understand the significance of this location of this community, Expo City, right? So as I said at the beginning of the video, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid recently approved the new master plan, which is an enhanced master plan, which has more residential communities and commercial spaces. And basically, as per the new master plan, Expo City, as I told you, is going to be one of the central hubs of entire Dubai South. Just imagine if World Trade Center is so much of an important for Dubai. Expo City Exhibition Center is going to be even bigger than that, right? During the inauguration, Sheikh mentioned something interesting. I just wanted to highlight that. He talked about how a decade. I'll just read this. A decade ago, we paved the way for a new city to rise within Dubai, one that would host the world, drive innovation and sustainability, and propel the UAE into a new era of prosperity. So the main thing is, a decade ago we paved the way for a new city. So we need to understand one thing. the government is strategically planning it. This has already been planned 10 years back, right? And this is a realization of a plan that was already put 10 years back. And in a previous video I also explained about the Al Maktoum airport, for which the plans were put even more than 20 years ago. So the government is going according to a perfect plan. They have a plan, they have a perfect timing. And so as investors we need to invest, we need to just trust the government. That is why Dubai is Dubai, that is why communities are moving. We need to trust the government's plans. And as long as the developer is a reputed developer, as long as we know the developer is also going hand in hand with the government, just like Expo or MR, right? We need to just trust the developer. If the price per square foot and everything makes, if the price makes sense, and if the product is good, if as long as we are going with a reputed developer, as long as we trust the government, we are definitely in good hands. That is what I wanted to show you here. Right. Now let's understand in detail the two projects that I'm discussing about here. One is Terra Heights, and the other one is Sidr Residences by Expo City. Right. Let me walk you through the map and explain where these two projects are. So basically, Sidr Residence. So this is, I already explained to you the master plan and everything. Sidr Residences is located here. This is the plot for Sidr Residences. Right. This is the plot for Sidr Residences. It's very close to the Al Wasl Dome. There are offices already established here, as I said. So it's basically in the downtown district of Expo. And on the other hand, the project by MR, Terra Heights, is located here. So City Residence is here and Terra Heights is here. At the very outset, it seems like it's little away from Expo City, but we'll understand if it is actually away or not, right? Right. So before explaining in detail about the locations, about the potential of the projects and all, let's first of all briefly go through the brief details, the unit size, specifications, and the payment plans, and then we'll then dive deeper into the analysis. So first of all, Terra Heights, there's one bedrooms and two bedrooms, 484 one bedrooms, 522 bedrooms. One bedroom starting from around 728 square foot up to 857. Two bedrooms 1093 up to 1216, which is the typical size of an MR one bed and two bed in anywhere in Dubai, right? So the main point here is the price point, which is a very attractive price point, starting from 1.4 million, and two beds starting from 2.07 million. There are some inventory still available with us, and that is the reason why I'm actually basically making this video also. So there are some good inventory, hidden gems basically, where investors can make very high amount of ROI. That is mainly the reason why I'm making this video. There are some hidden inventory that we have with us. Okay. And if you look at the payment plan, which is also again the typical payment plan by MR, 10% down, 10% back again in January. Basically 20% a year roughly, that is a payment plan. And the handover is expected in March 2029, on which where you will be paying another 20%. So yes, that is about Terra Heights. Now if we go to Expo Living, if we go to Sidr Residences too, units are pretty big in Sidr Residences, exceptionally big. Generally, one bed sizes are not this large, but these are very spacious units, 980 square foot plus. There are different variations. You can just get an idea. And if you look at the payment plan, it's very interesting. We have a 30/70 payment plan with a 30% post handover. Earlier they used to have 50% post handover, but now the location is gaining traction. They are giving 30% post handover. The good news is you get the 30% post handover. The bad news is most likely in the upcoming projects, I don't think we can expect post handover payment plans. If at all, maybe one or two, but still the payment, the weightage towards the under construction percentage will be a little heavier, a little higher than what we are looking at right now, because the demand is already there for that, right? So this is how the payment plan goes. Between 10 and 15% per year, roughly. That is how it is. And on completion, you're going to pay another 10%. Then the post handover payment plan kicks in. So okay, so we talked about the payment plans. Now let's understand in detail about the projects, the potential of it, the ROI potential, which project is suitable for whom, and whatnot. Now, this is the most important part of the video, because we are going to understand in detail about the two projects. Absolutely no doubt, both the projects are good, because one is by MR, one is by Expo Living. Both developers have a very good track record. Expo Living has already built Expo City itself, so when you go there, you look at the existing infrastructure and understand the quality of the developer, the projects, and they are a government-backed developer as well. So you don't have to worry about the timely delivery, about the quality. It's going to be top of the line quality basically. And MR is MR. We already know MR. I don't think we even have to talk about it. So yeah. So quality of the developer, both are more or less similar. Uh, so what else can we compare? We need to understand. Obviously, MR has smaller units. Sidr has bigger units. Is that going to impact? Is that going to create a difference? Let's understand. First of all, the price per square feet is more or less similar. MR around 2000 dirhams per square foot. Sidr residences starting from about 1800, 1900, 2000, and even above, depending on the floor, depending on the wheel. So price per square foot more or less similar. There's not big of a difference. So then, which product should we be investing in? Of course, if you need a bit of a more flexible payment plan, if the MR payment plan seems a little hard, then it's going to be Sidr. But if you have the capacity to go into both, then which one would you be choosing, right? So let's understand. Let's go into the map again. Let's go into the map again and let's understand a little in detail. Now we need to understand Sidr residence is located here. Sidr is the closest to basically the downtown district, where so the main business headquarters are going to be, where already Siemens is, where already Emirates Airlines is, and so many other businesses are going to move into this location only. Inside this, this is the main central business district, and entertainments, uh, concerts, and everything is going to happen in this district only. Al Wasl Dome is literally maybe 3 to 5 minutes walking distance from Sidr residence. So if, in that sense, Sidr is the closest to all the amenities that are inside the downtown district. So basically, Sidr is going to be a very good investment for short-term Airbnb holiday home renters. Hands down, this is going to be the best one for Airbnb holiday homes, because Airbnb holiday home people will want to stay around the hustle and bustle in very close proximity. The views are going to be amazing and everything, right? When we go to MR Terra Heights, however, it's a little away at the very outset. It seems like it's not a better investment, but we need to understand that as well. Dubai Expo Mall by MR, which is going to be functional by 2050, 2025 next year, is it's very close to the Terra Heights building by MR itself. This is where the Terra Heights is going to be. This was a this, previously a car park, which is going to basically be Terra Heights. Right, so many car parks and so many other infrastructure that was built uh, for the purpose of Expo 2020 is being transformed. Basically, this is how it's being transformed, right? So it's going to be very closer to the Dubai Expo Mall, walking distance, and it's going to be very closer to the metro station as well, right? So if you look at the metro station distance, it's going to be more or less similar from both directions. But we need to understand that someone who wants to live long-term residence, like long-term tenancy, or live for long-term, live for long, not short-term Airbnb, not for one night, 2 night, or 1 week, but for long-term living. Most likely people would prefer living not not here but here. Why am I saying that? Because this is going to be too much of hustle and bustle entertainment. Yes, there are people, because always there's I mean, if you look at downtown, even people are living in long term, but mostly Sidr is going to be a very good investment for short term Airbnb. I'm not saying it's bad for long term, but it's going to perform exponentially well for short term. Whereas Terra Heights, most of the managers and people working inside Expo City itself, they would prefer having something a little not too away, within walking distance, but a little away from the hustle and bustle for a peaceful sleep, right? So for them, Terra Heights is going to be the perfect option for long term living, for long term residences. And this is the Dubai Exhibition Center. The exciting news that I was about to talk about. Let's talk a bit about the Dubai Exhibition Center, DEC. The current size of World Trade Center exhibition, all the exhibition centers together, it's about 120,000 square meters, right? And currently, per annum, around 300 events are happening in World Trade Center. So the plan is already 10 billion dirhams have been passed to expand the exhibition, I mean, to move the exhibition center into Expo Dubai Exhibition Center in Expo City, and first phase of it is already started, undergoing process constructions are happening, right? So the current size of this exhibition center is 58,000 square meters, and it's going to expand above. It's going to surpass 180,000 square meters, which is going to be even larger than World Trade Center. And most importantly, more than 600 annual events are expected to be hosted in this venue, which is like basically around or more than 2 events a day. Just imagine the amount of demand, the amount of traction that it is going to gain, right? So with this kind of demand, both Sidr Residences and Terra Heights is going to be having demand for short-term rental as well as long-term rental. But then again, short-term rental, I believe Sidr Residence would perform a little like would be having a little more demand, because as I said, all the entertainment and everything is inside this, right? Okay. That was about the Dubai Exhibition Center, which is going to be a main feature of this whole site, right? Right. So again, back to Sidr versus Terra Heights. Now, if you look at Terra Heights, we were talking about the potential for Terra Heights for long-term residences. Connectivity-wise, it's very easy to. I mean, it's basically here. This is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road. This is Expo Road, right? Connectivity-wise, Terra Heights is very easily accessible, and we need to understand inside this district, inside Expo, it's fully walkable. You cannot drive. Of course, there are going to be underground parkings, and it's a very nice parking system. So that's going to be there, but you directly cannot drive closer to your apartment. So people living in a longer term basis, they would prefer the convenience of driving directly to the apartment. So Terra Heights is basically going to facilitate all those, right? So I believe in terms of long term residency, Terra Heights is going to perform well. Of course, not that there is not going to be short term. There is going to be. Don't get the wrong picture. In terms of weightage, for short term Airbnb, Sidr versus Terra, we could say 65 points for Sidr and 35 points for Terra. And in terms of long-term residency weightage, we could say 65 points for Terra and 35 points for Sidr. You get the idea, right? Okay. Last but not least, let's understand some numbers. Now, I explained to you about the short-term potential, long-term potential, so on and so forth. So let's understand some numbers. First of all, let me explain the long-term rental potential for both. I don't want to just distinguish Terra for long-term and Sidr for short-term. Both are going to perform again, as I explained. So let's have an overview of the numbers. I have taken a two-bedroom comparison. Of course, one-bedrooms are also going to perform because it's exclusive supply, limited number of plots, and so one-bedrooms are also going to perform. But I have taken two bedrooms for comparison purpose. So if you take Terra, given the fact that Sidr is located inside the downtown district, very close proximity to all the amenities, I've, and also the price point is also high. Practically speaking, 200, 300,000, 250,000 plus uh, is a practical rental that a high-end apartment, the likes of MR, the quality of MR, the quality of Sidr is already attracting in DIFC close to World Trade Center in those areas. Okay, so I've taken that number for comparison purpose, because actually speaking, in Expo currently there's absolutely no ready apartments for us to get an idea. Okay, so 200, between 200 to 300,000 is the rental. So if we put 200,000 for Terra, the rental, I have taken the all-inclusive price, including the 4% DLD fee. The gross rental is going to be 9.2%. So you can expect between 9 and 10% of a rental yield easily. Minus the service charge and everything, it's going to be 8.5% plus easily, right? And 4 5 years down the line, like by 2033, 2034, it's going to even increase and increase, because the airport will further expand. All the developments like Vision 2040 plans will be coming into fruition step by step, year by year, right? So basically you get the idea. It's going to go up and up and up, right? And if you look at short-term rentals, so I've just for comparison purposes, I've assumed that there is an occupancy rate year out, right throughout the year. There's an occupancy rate of 75%, right? And so peak, I mean 6 months peak, 6 months off peak, so I've divided the days equally. So short-term Airbnb rental, I've gone to the Airbnb site around World Trade Center. This is World Trade Center. I just taken the 2 bedroom room rates, per night rates for around World Trade Center: 2,000, 2,500, 3,200. If you go to DIFC, because this is also very close by, 2,000, 4,000, 3,000. So this is the rate. This is peak. I have taken current rate. So if you look at off peak, I've taken from around June 5th and 6th. Just taken random dates in June next year. 1,300. More than 1,000, 1,200, 1,300. So these are the rates, right? So let's understand. Let's just put some numbers here and let's understand. During peak, let's say you can expect 2,000 dirhams per night, and during off peak you can say 1,500 dirhams per night. If you look at 75% occupancy rate, it's coming up to 475, 479,000 per year. Let's say it's 400,000. Let's round it down to 400,000 dirhams per night, and let's understand what is the returns. If you look at 400,000 per night, what I've done is I've put 400,000. I've minus another 10% for service, just for whatever property management and service charges and everything. Let's make it 15%. I think let's make it 15%. So these are the numbers, right? So these are the numbers. Of course, it's going to be higher than this. I mean, you can expect somewhere between 15 and 20% of our ROI if you look at Airbnb. Okay, given the developments that are happening, I mean, I just understand World Trade Center currently only 300 events, mega events. I'm talking about only 300 mega events per event per year is happening in World Trade Center. Now, if it doubles to 600 mega events, what does that mean, right? And 1 million of population living in Dubai South, all the major company headquarters moving into Expo City, the world's largest airport coming up next to it. Once this entire infrastructure is up and running, let's suppose in the next 5 to 10, like it will start by 2030. This hype is going to start and it's going to continue, right? By 2040, it's I mean, 2035, 2040, it's going to continue throughout the years, right? So once this hype begins and once it starts rolling, basically just understand how much of a potential, how much of a rental ROI, whatever the numbers I've told you. I think it's an honestly, I feel it's an underestimation. It's going to perform exponentially better than what I explained to you. That is what I feel, because unlike around World Trade Center, this community, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of everything, it's way better. They have learned from downtown, because the traffic situation in downtown World Trade Center, those areas are crazy, right? So they have learned from that. There are large highways. There's absolutely going to be absolutely no problem for parking around, like in entire Expo City. Entire there's a phenomenally well planned, designed underground parking system in Expo City, Expo district. So with all this, they have basically future proof this city. That is how they have planned this city, right? So with all this in place, and also we need to understand there is going to be very limited supply. These are the first few apartment communities that are coming up in this location, and there's going to be a few more. There's going to be a few more residential districts. There's going to be a low rise residential district. There are a few more. Whatever that's coming up next, of course, I'm pretty sure it's going to come up at a higher price, and the price point is just going to increase up higher and higher and higher, right? And of course, Expo being Expo, government backed developer, and MR being MR, and this is the first MR project in this location. This is always going to retain a lot of value, a significant value. So units are still there are some units still available. We have some exclusive, some units at very nice placements, less prices, nice placements with high ROI potential. We do have. So if you are interested, this is a golden opportunity. This is not going to come again. If you are interested, get in touch. We can discuss. We can see how we can how you can maximize your returns basically. Okay, so that's a bit about Expo City. That's a bit about Sidr Residences and Terra Heights by MR. If you feel I missed out on anything, if you feel I need to be adding anything, if you have any suggestions, if you have any alternate suggestions, please, I would really love to see them in the comment section. And if you like this video, I would really like to ask you, request you to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And if you feel you have someone who might be interested in watching this, who might be interested in the information, please share this to them. I will be uploading more and more informative videos in the future, and you and anyone who might be interested would be benefiting from these videos. That's a bit about it, and signing off until we meet next time.